Hey guys, welcome back. Orabomb here, bringing you another one of our tabletop matchups. I did want to get more of these out for you guys, but it's been kind of difficult with everyone starting school and like the fact that I've been like just really sick lately, which more on that in a second, but I found out why I've been getting sick and things like that. But I'll be on the left playing Malamar Spread, Malamar Giratina, Malamar, whatever you want to call it, right? A non-Ultra Mally version. I don't know what to call the deck yet, because it's still kind of Mally Spread, because I'm still playing Cocos and 2 Cocos and Arceus Prism. But it also plays some tag teams as well. And then to the right is my buddy Tony, who is playing Pikachu. This is a deck he just built. We're testing a bunch of different builds with this deck right now, and essentially these decks are purely, I forgot what we were doing here. I don't know what he was doing. Oh, he had a mulligan and he put out its prizes. That's right. That's what happened. I believe that's what happened. But this is a deck that we're testing both of our decks right now. I'm trying to make this Mally Spread variant pretty good. A deck that can have a better matchup versus Zapdos Rachi, because Zapdos is weak to lightning, obviously, so you're doing 40 damage plus the 20 spread to all their Pokemon. Obviously, Jirachis have low HP, Zapdos don't have a huge amount of HP, so essentially just attacking with Coco a bunch and Arceus a bunch in that matchup, and then also we have some high damage potential with Gengar, Mimikyu, and with Snorlax Eevee that can deal with like a bunch of Zoroark variants as well. So it's just a bunch of different tests we're doing right now. Obviously, they play Lucarios to punish our Snorlax or Lycanroc, so we can punish them with our own Pokemon. There's a Viridian City, and I'm going to go ahead and play Nest Ball. There's going to be a slight glare. I tried to fix as much of the glare as I could, but I can only do so much. But yeah, I'm going to be going first here. I got Nest Ball for Inkay. But yeah, if you guys don't know, I'm going to kind of let this turn play out, because a lot of these turns are self-explanatory. My opponent led with Jirachi, which is great for them. But they're playing Jirachi in this build as well. Not too sure how I feel about the Jirachi right now. I'm gonna be trying out my own variant of Pikachu on the channel very soon. I'm gonna be trying to upload a lot recently, because I found out that the reason why I've been super sick lately is because I've been putting off my dental work for far too long, and now I owe a lot of money right now. It's not exactly the most exciting thing in the world, but I got my dental work done. It was a lot to get done, and as unfortunate as that is. And it sucked. It put me in pain for like 2-3 days in a row almost. I actually got prescribed some brand new pain medication that should help a little bit. Use another Nest Ball here. But it turns out, because of like how messed up my teeth were, because I was born with like a bunch of crevices in my teeth, which means that it was hard. It's easier for me to get teeth damage, which is why I'm actually why I'm really careful with how I treat my teeth. But I had to get some work done, and it turns out that because of all the crap on my teeth, I've been getting sick a lot easier because of it. My opponent's gonna use Jirachi here, so I just got a bunch of work done, and I don't have any money. After insurance, which I lose in like 3 weeks, it actually cost me $1,500 after insurance. My family said they'd help me a little bit, so they gave me $300, and then I only had $500 on my account total, and I still owe my campus about $600. So that puts me at around $1,500 in debt right now, which sucks. And that's not counting like food and gas and stuff like that, and the fact that my jobs are really slow right now. So I'm gonna try to upload as much as I can for the next few days, few weeks, honestly. And I'm gonna try to stream more often. I might have to drop out of school, which is not exactly exciting for me, because I don't have time anymore. I need to be making money. I need to ask my boss to give me a lot more money. I don't want to drop out of school though. Like I mean, I'm taking like 4 classes right now. I might just drop out of like half the classes. Excuse me. Excuse me. Had a little coughing fit there. I mean, I don't really want to do that because I already paid for the classes, but I need more time to work, and I really need to work right now. So my opponent's gonna use a Vulcan turn 1 here. I don't know. I don't remember where they got off Jirachi, but he's getting the Nest Ball. He's not getting the Zapdos, but he's going to use Zapdos this turn. I'm assuming he probably has a switch in hand or something, or a Guzma, something there. But he's going to grab Nest Ball to grab the Zapdos, and also a Lightning Energy with the Volkner. So he's thinning his deck by quite a bit. No turn 1 Lily, unfortunately, but he is going to get a pretty aggressive turn 1 start off. This Pikachu deck does play 2 Zapdos. I feel like 2 Zapdos is super important, as well as Raikou, the Shining Legends Raikou, which we'll talk about that in a different video. He had a backwards card there. Just it's Zeraora. He hasn't purchased the Zeraoras yet, but he knows he's gonna get them at some point. So we have one Tapu Koko that's like a non-prism that's supposed to represent the prism, and we have 2 backwards cards being Zeraora, but he has everything else. So keep that in mind. We're still testing, so he doesn't want to purchase all the cards unless he has to. Luckily, from a box he got, he is able to get two Pikaroms from that box, which is why he wants to build this deck right now. Natasha Lightning Energy, and let's see if he has a Guzma or Switch. I don't remember if his deck plays Switch. Apparently it does. So he's going to be using Switch here, and with a Electro Power, he takes a knockout on Koko, which is kind of annoying. I was going to use that Koko to attack. In hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have left it active. But, I mean, like, if I didn't leave it active, I would have just lost some Inkay, and I don't want to lose my Inkays right now when I only have 2. So that's going to be 2 Malamars for me here in a second. In a perfect world, I just Ultra Ball for that Koko, and I get it down and draw. I mean, I have a Marshadow in hand. I guess I can use that Marshadow if I need to. But there's Ultra Ball. We have, I believe we have Eevee Snorlax in our deck. Now, Eevee Snorlax is okay in this matchup because it can actually take out, ideally, like 2 Zapdos before it gets knocked out on its own, but the price trade for that is not high enough. So we're going to Ultra Ball away. Man, I really wish I checked the camera. The problem with recording now, since I record with my phone, is that I can't actually look at what the recording as it's happening. So it becomes a little bit more awkward. Okay, so now we can retreat here and evolve into the other Malamar, but I believe I discarded the other Malamar because I didn't want to lose Eevee Snorlax. Eevee Snorlax still has some pretty decent potential here. Being able to use a very powerful GX attack that can OHKO with some spread damage against some higher HP Pokemon, and it can OHKO things like Zeraora and stuff like that, while letting me have a brand new hand. Snorlax Eevee's GX attack is very useful in this deck just because it gives you that whole hand refresh on its own. And then Gengar Mimikyu is really good. It's a really strong attacker that can put your opponent in a lot of checkmate situations with his GX attack. So I do really like the Gengar Mimikyu as well in this deck. It's such a good checkmate card. Like, literally you can just play it down and be like, GX attack, draw a bunch, make your opponent draw a bunch, and then essentially say like, hey, I'm gonna get this Guzma for game next turn if you can't do anything about it. But you can't play anything from your hand, so you probably can't do anything about it. It's really, really strong. And then we also play Necrozma GX, it's regular Necrozma GX, with this GX attack to put 100 damage and all non-GXs on the board. So it's still pretty decent in the spread archetype, but I just find that I never use that GX attack anymore. I still play the Necrozma because it is another OHKO card. It's another deck that has a lot of OHKO potential. Now we can hit 40 damage to the active, 20 on the Jirachi, which is pretty good. We're going to go ahead and get Giratina and start powering it up because I really want to make sure I have Giratinas around. It's still a fairly strong card, and it puts 10 damage on Jirachi, which is pretty handy because it puts Jirachi at that even number. So I only need to do 2 more attacks to take a knockout on Jirachi, and then 2 more attacks to also take a knockout on Zapdos. So ideally he can't knock out my Kokos as consistently. He's going to go ahead and play down that Zeraora. So Zeraora is going to be a nice target to play my Snorlax for at some point. He's going to retreat for free thanks to Zeraora. Use Jirachi's ability. He can use a Guzma later, but first he's going to use a Stadium, of course. Just Thin. So this means that his Koko Prism is now active. He has 2 in the discard pile at least. So that's really good for my opponent. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to talk about while the game plays. Maybe I should have sped up. Maybe I'll speed up the game a little bit more next time. This is almost regular speed. It's like 1.25 instead of, I usually do 1.5 or 1.75 because, but this is going to be only one game. We tried to record a best of 3, but another downside of recording with my phone is that my battery died. So what can I say? I have a really old phone, which hopefully I can get a new one soon, but that's going to have to be pushed back until after I pay off all my debt, which sucks. I'm not going to lie, because I cracked the screen on my phone real bad. Real bad. It is demolished. It is gone. It is destroyed. It is vanquished. It has been utterly decimated. I don't know what other words I could use there, but it's all those things. So he can switch here. If he has another Electro Power, he can take a knockout. I'm hoping he doesn't, but even if he doesn't, I can take a knockout on this thing with my Giratina as long as I get a manual attachment, which I should have one thanks to our Stadium on board. Now the question is he going to Guzma or does he have Electro Power in hand? If he Guzmas, he actually doesn't knock out anything anyways. He still needs a 10 power boost, so he still needs Electro Power to knock out one of the Malamars, which is one of the nice things about having Malamar is that you actually, even though it is kind of annoying versus the early pressure of Zapdos, you still have the fact that they still need an extra 10 damage to take an OHKO on Malamar is pretty handy. Although it is annoying that you have to retreat the Malamar. But luckily, Malamar can retreat with the DCEs. Excuse me. Excuse me there. But luckily, Malamar can retrieve the DCE, so it's pretty easy to get the DCs in this deck as long as you're drawing consistently. We top deck a Guzma there, which could be useful. But I do want to attack specifically the Zapdos with Coco. I'd rather not have to attack it. I'd rather not have to attack a different Pokemon, but I can if I need to. I just don't want to, right? Because I want to make sure I have that boosted damage on Zapdos. Because if I only put it at 60, I still need 2 more attacks to knock it out. Jirachi will go down eventually, so I'm not too worried about it. The other option I have is attack with Arceus to still put it in range of 1 more Coco's damage as long as I hit directly to it. So there's that benefit. We have Onix in hand, which is going to be useful for knocking out Zeraora. We can Guzma if we need to and attack something with the Giratina. Not super necessary right now. I would like to try to get down another Inkay because we have 1 damage one that I don't like. I'm just trying to think of ways I can retreat, but I can't. I obviously can't. I'm going to have to Guzma here. So I think I'm just going to have to attack that Zeraora directly since it doesn't have an energy on it right now. Obviously, he can get energies easily, but I'm forcing an attachment on Zeraora. But I guess we'll just directly attack the Jirachi, kind of disrupt his engine with Giratina. If I'm gonna, I have to figure out which Pokemon I'm going to damage directly, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my opponent in this checkmate position. If they don't deal with this, Onix, I'm most likely going to attack you next turn with a Guzma onto Zeraora. So I'm putting him in a position where, like, please attack the Onix, do not attack the Giratina. I want to be attacking with Giratina this turn. The reason why I'm doing this is because unless I get a DCE, there's no way I can attack with Onix in 1 turn. And I'd rather him try to take a 1 prize knockout on the fighting Pokemon than on any of my Malamars. As long as he has that Zeraora down, Onix will continuously be a threat. So I'm trying to bait him into knocking things out. Anyways, I'm going to be damaging myself here. I figured because I have 130 HP, Zapdos is still going to need at least 1 Electro Power to knock out the Giratina on 1 hit. And if he does knock out the Giratina on 1 hit, not a huge deal. I'll just bring it back and charge it up again. And if he doesn't deal with this Onix, then we'll eventually be able to charge it up. I mean, we guarantee charge it up next turn, and then we can knock out Zeraora. The problem is we don't actually have Guzma in hand. We're just kind of bluffing the Guzma right now. He's going to retreat that Zeraora, go into Jirachi, and use the ability, continue to set up his board a little bit. I know in the build I'm going to be trying out for the video, it's not using Jirachi. I don't really like Jirachi as much as I used to, not in this deck at least. And because of all the Jirachi hate that's probably going to be happening after Oceania, which, by the way, we recorded this pre-Oceania, in case you guys were curious about when we recorded this. I need to find a different spot to record these videos. I thought we would avoid all the glare, like there'd be just a small amount of glare on top of my sleeves, but that on top of my sleeves and on the deck side. I didn't think it'd be like in the active position as well. Yeah, we're recording these after Oceania. We're recording these before Oceania, so I don't actually know the results of Oceania by the time I'm recording this. But I know them as the time I'm commentating it, so I know that I've looked at the results of Oceania. I looked at like how people are building their Pikarom decks, getting some pretty decent idea out of them, and I've done a little bit of experimenting and testing, and I feel like I've built a list using the inspirations of other people's lists and finding a good way to play it. So we have Snorlax, we have another Viridian City, and we have Viridian Forest, and we have a Psychic Energy in hand. So we're in top deck mode right now, just hoping for the best. That's exciting. I keep coughing, guys. I'm still kind of sick. I'm getting over it though. We got the dental work done. I don't think I'll be able to see a doctor in time. But I need to go get some new glasses as well because I haven't seen an eye doctor in forever. And I lose my insurance on my birthday, which is in tomorrow's gonna be the 21st when I upload this. So what was that? 11 days from now, because my birthday's on the 4th, March 4th. My birthday's really close actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's gonna be the following Monday. So a week from today plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 13 days. So in 13, ooh, that's lucky. So a week from today, so 12 days by the time I'm uploading it, unless you count that day. I don't know, whatever you want to do, whatever your prerogative is. It's on March the 4th, which is really soon. I don't have family that lives in the area, and also my family is poor, so I can't rely on birthday money. Except for my immediate family. I was actually born in Morocco. For those, I have a lot of people that ask me all the time, like, where am I from? I'm actually from Morocco. I was born there. I moved here when I was a child, like a little baby. So I don't have much experience of my past. Excuse me. Of my past in Morocco. He's gonna grab Pikarom here. I remember this play was kind of weird. I remember this play was kind of weird because he was going to try to set up a attack with Pikarom this turn and charge up his board, but then he realized that actually his better play would be to try to knock out that Onix right now, and setting up Pikarom probably is not going to be worth it. But with Pikarom, I actually with Aether down, he knows I can't knock out the Pikarom in one hit. It would actually take 2 hits because of Onix doing only 120, but he doesn't know that I also have a Viridian in my hand as well, so it's overall pretty awkward. But I can bump that Stadium and Guzma and knock out the Pikarom. If I need to, I would just have to get Guzma. I would have to Marshadow into Guzma, which I am going to try to do right now. Because if I can just get 1 extra energy attachment, which I can guarantee with the Viridian Forest, which is something I'm going to be doing here because I am going to use the Marshadow right now, I can use 1 Malamar and then Guzma. So we're going to try to get Guzma. We have 3 more left in this deck. The deck currently plays 4. In my new updated version that I'm going to eventually record a video with, I'm only playing 3. And it's one of those things where I'm debating all the time, right? I can never tell which one I want to do. In one side, if you're playing three Guzmas, it gives you, if you're playing 4 Guzmas, you can Guzma a lot more, right? Which is strong. The problem with playing 4 Guzma is that you're going to have those games where you just run into nothing but Guzma, and that's not your preference in card right there. I've had so many games where I'm just like, ugh, if only this was like another Acro Bike, or like, oh, I can't use Lily right now because I have too many Guzmas in my hand or something like that. So I'm playing less Guzmas, which, by the way, we have the Guzma. I'm debating if I want to knock out Zeraora to disrupt his little retreat engine, or if I want to knock out Pikarom. Pikarom does give me 3 prizes, but Zeraora is a bigger threat right now. So I'm back and forth about it, but I'm thinking if I'll take the 3 prize turn because I can just take the 2 prize turn later. And with Aether gone, I can knock him out from full here. So there we go. That's what I decided to do. Yeah, because all I have to do now is knock out Zeraora for game, which is simply a GX attack from Snorlax, or another attack with Onix. I'm currently only playing 1 Onix, but yeah, in this deck list right now, I'm playing 3 Acrobike, 4 Guzma, but in the deck list I'm currently testing on PCGO, I am playing 4 Acrobike, 3 Guzma. I'm sorry I keep muting, guys. I am coughing like crazy. I decided to record this video because I thought I was feeling better enough to start recording, but I just keep coughing and I don't have any water on hand. We ran out of water bottles, so I have to go buy some later, but whatever. I'll ask my mother to see if she can buy some water bottles. He's gonna go ahead and get Acrobike with Jirachi. So let's see if he can make a comeback here. I mean, it's not hard for him to make a comeback because if he can knock out the Malleus, or if like say that I don't know if it's possible. I mean, he does play energy switches, right? Say he gets like Manual Attachment, Cocoa Prism, Thunder Mountain, and a couple energy switches. He could probably set up a Pikarom right now and use his GX attack right now, and then knock out the Onix in the active and the fresh Malamar on the bench. That would make it very difficult for him to set up multiple attackers, for me to set up multiple attackers, because with only 1 Malamar on board, it does put me quite a bit behind. I can attack him with what's it called? With Giratina, but then what do I do after that? You know what I mean? He hasn't found Cocoa Prism yet. It might just be prize, and that's why he hasn't played it yet. But Cocoa Prism would be very useful. With the Manual Attachment, Cocoa Prism gives him a second one. 3 energy switches would technically get him there. I know the deck plays 4, so 3 energy switches into a Thunder Mountain would get him there, I believe. Is that how it works? Yes, because he would only need 5 energies, which only need 5 energies. But it's definitely possible in this deck. He's using Erica there, drawing a nice handful, nice 6 cards. But with a Manual Attachment into Cocoa Prism, that is 2 cards, right? And then 3 energy switches would be 5. So, I mean, it works. He has 3 energies on board. Interesting. I don't think it's gonna happen though, based off the fact that I'm chuckling like a fool right now, knowing it's not gonna happen. But he needs to knock out Onyx this turn or he loses. It's just that simple, because he can't risk me having another Guzma to knock out Zeraora for game. He can Coco GX, and that would give him a free attacker. That would give him a attacker that can easily take a knockout here without being weak to anything. Which means I would have to find a way to Oko this Coco for game, which I can do. I would just need to get Snorlax and GX with it, or try to get lucky with a Mimikyu Gengar GX attack. There's a couple options, just they're not all the best. Let's see what I can do here. I have a couple treasures in hand, which I haven't seen all game now that I think about it. Have I seen any treasures this game? Wow, I play 4. I play 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Treasure, and 3 Nest Ball, or 2 Nest Ball, one or the other. I have to double check the list later. Looks like I have no way to get Snorlax this turn, so I'm probably just gonna risk it with the Gengar Mimikyu because he has a big hand, and I don't see the worst that could happen. He could GX me, but he doesn't win by GXing me, and then I can finish off the Tapu Koko. He would need to both heal and take a knockout with Tapu Koko Prism this turn, which is very unlikely. We're gonna go ahead and treasure here, get rid of a Malamar. Just continue looking through the deck. Another option I have is Necrozma. Necrozma can only hit 160 though, 60, 120. Yeah, well actually if I get a manual attachment, but I believe I'm out of manual attachments at this point. I play 7 basic energies in this deck list. One thing I've realized that I don't do with this deck is that, yeah, there's 4 in there, 3 on the board. So yeah, we don't have enough energies in the deck to actually pull off that play. So we can't use, yeah, that sucks actually, but we can't actually use the Necrozma because I'm all out of energies for manual attachments. And that's something I've noticed personally when I was testing this deck in this day. I was just like, man, I really do like run out of manual attachment this deck. But the answer isn't like, you know, play more psychic energies. It's just be very aware of like, you have to map out your energy attachments throughout the game. Know when, or like know if you're going to attach energies manually. Keep like 1 or 2 around at all times to attach manually. So I need to stop like digging through my deck and constantly putting psychic energies in the discard pile like I've been doing, and just hold on to a handful, hold on to at least 2 or at least 1, right? Just to know that you're going to, I need to attach need to attach them this turn. Oh, look, it's his little friend Oliver. Ignore the chameleon. He likes to bring his chameleon to the local league that we go to. But he's going to reveal his hand. And unfortunately, with that gigantic hand of his, I thought he would have more trainers. He only has 3. So I'm only doing 150 right now. But that's fine because all I need to do is 1 Coco spread to take a knockout. If he heals me, he doesn't have a way to take an Oko this turn. Although he still has access to Coco Prism. So I guess he technically could if he plays Acerola. But if I remember correctly, he doesn't actually play Acerola in this list. There's 1 energy switch. Excuse me. Luckily, I'm a 240 HP Pokemon, so it takes a lot for him to knock me out. That's why I was thinking like he needs to GX me, because there's currently 5, 6, 7 energies on the board. That's a lot of energies. That's enough to take a knockout for sure. But like I said, even if he does take a knockout, he needs to be able to both pick up the Coco and take a knockout at the same time. So he needs Acerola and then to reuse the Coco. So that's very unlikely. I'm banking on that not happening this turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that play because it's super unlikely. He needs to have a Acerola, and I know he doesn't. I'm pretty positive he doesn't play Acerola. I didn't remember seeing his whole list because he wouldn't show me his list before we started recording. Because usually like we talk about each other's list and like about like what changes we can make, but he's like, I'm not showing you my list this time. He wanted to show me his secret spice on his own. But without Acerola, that means it's pretty unlikely that I'll take a knockout here. He's gonna go ahead and grab him. Excuse me. He's gonna go ahead and slam down Guzma here, knowing that right now he needs to knock out that Coco Prism, because that Coco Prism means he can lose for sure. So he might just attack me with a Zapdos here if he gets that opportunity, which looks like he's going to. And he needs to knock out Coco Prism so it doesn't spread. There's 1 Electro Power, and there's not Coco Prism, just regular Coco. I keep saying Coco Prism because I'm so used to saying either Coco GX or Coco Prism. But yeah, he needs to knock this thing out so I don't just use my GX attack for game, or my regular flying flip for game. And then here I'm just like, okay, so now all I have to do is knock out that Coco with a Guzma. So I have to try to find Guzma now. There's Giratina. And there's Shining Arceus. And actually, that's a different way to win. And there's the other spread attacker. We're going to go ahead and retreat this and just attack with my Spirit Shining Arrow, whatever that attack's called, and finish off that Coco for a game. So that's going to be at 1 game with this matchup. We'll do more games if you guys want to see it with this particular matchup. Let me know in the comments down below. Actually, let me know right away, because I'm uploading this video as I'm gonna go see him later later the evening. This day is being uploaded. So if you guys want to see more games with this particular matchup, we can do the best of 3, and we can finish the next 2 games eventually and upload those later. So let me know if you guys want to see that, and we'll get that recorded. If not, then we can just do a different matchup. I have a handful of decks I can record with. I kind of want to continue testing Blacephalon to see if it's really like dead in this meta, or if there's still a chance for it to be useful. Because Zoroark looks like it's going to be making a resurgence, I can see the deck doing well. Another thing that could be kind of nice is, I mean, I would have to find an attacker that can do 110 in Blacephalon, which is very unlikely besides the actual Blacephalon themselves. But maybe we can play like some healing cards in Blacephalon and increase the energy switch count or something like that. I don't know. There has to be a way to make Blacephalon work in this current meta, because Blacephalon is still a very strong card that can take huge Okos against these tag team decks. So you have your options versus Pikarom. You have your options that you've been having versus Zoroark. So you still have that good matchup, quote unquote good matchup. I think it's still a pretty good matchup. Not to mention that they keep abusing Lucario. You can knock them out with Naganadel. You have your options versus Malamar, because once again, it's easy to just spam their Mallies with Naganadels and then take big Okos against their Ultra Mallies. So that's pretty cool. But that's going to be the video, guys. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, share, all that good jazz. Let me know what you think. Let me know what matchups you want to see next. I'm about to sneeze. I'm going to end the video here. Ah, boy. All right. See you next time, guys. Ah, bleh.